Yeah, I'll keep this here. Okay, so hi, hello. What is your name and what event did you do?
Hi, my name is Aniko Mayor, and me and my group did the educational bike tour The Hague.
Okay, how was that experience for you in planning the event, the bike Hague tour?
It was definitely a huge challenge for all of us. I think you also experienced it with your group
Yeah,
because we've never done anything like this before. So naturally, something new, something challenging. We had to adapt to each other. We all had different approaches to the organization of such an event.
yeah.
We had different personalities in the group, nationalities, and so we just had to adapt to come up with something common for our goal, like
Yeah.
a common strategy.
Common interest,
Yeah,
common
yeah,
exploring the Hague.
yeah,
Being able to show the
yeah.
cultural places and such. Okay, so first question that I would like to ask you: what was really the main concept that you guys really focused on in the project?
So as it is in the name, we wanted to educate people. So we chose locations that were historically relevant, but also ones that are focused on today's happenings. So we've been through a couple of stops. Each stop we explained some things. For example, the World Forum, that was also an interesting stop. We had a couple of others as well, but I found this the most engaging. We also had quizzes. For example, the Guess the Flag quiz. I think that
Mm.
was the most fun for the guests as well, or the attendees. And overall fun experience.
So it's a kind of a historic lesson for the attendees, for the participants, as well as engaging them in the physical activity as well, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
wow, okay, that's really
exactly.
interesting. Were there any unexpected challenges in your planning, and how did you handle them?
I would say there weren't major unexpected challenges, but a couple of days before the event, we had really bad weather forecasts.
Oh,
So
really?
we
Okay.
got a bit scared, and we tried to come up with alternatives like what to do if it's like pouring rain. But luckily, we
Luckily, it
didn't have
didn't.
to do that.
Okay,
It was
yeah, yeah.
sunny and it was like 20-ish degrees, so perfect weather
It's
for
perfect weather,
cycling.
especially in
Yep,
the spring. People are out and people are biking. Okay,
yep.
but you didn't come to any challenges at all with the project.
I would say during the planning, maybe yes, because of the communication in the group, and also there were certain group members that didn't put that much effort into the
Okay,
work,
yeah.
or weren't present in the meetings. But after all, towards the end, I guess everyone got better um, in terms of um, individual,
Individual
like,
contribution to
yeah,
the project.
contribution. I was
Ah,
looking
okay,
for
so
that word.
then you would say in this kind of project and event management, especially with the bike tour, the route, the history behind it,
Yeah,
and making sure that everybody's like in
yeah,
track and keep in track, you would say it's a teamwork effort and
yes.
that the individual contribution matters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it kind of balanced out towards the end because in the beginning there were certain people who worked more, and towards the end others also contributed a bit more than they did before. Of course, it's not possible for everyone to contribute like the same way with the same amount of work.
Yeah,
It's never the case, and we just have to find like the closest amount to the balance. But it will never be like fully equal, and we have to accept that.
yeah. Okay, yeah, that's fair. I'd say that's a big challenge in any project, especially with me with the beach games and any other events that has definitely made that project and being in a team especially. Um, there's actually an interesting point that you bring up with the team. What are the communication strategies that worked well with your team, and what could have gone better with the communication strategies
Mm-hmm.
within your team? Looking at your problem and how maybe certain communication strategies could help with it.
Mm-hmm. So we had a wonderful group leader, team leader Mats. I don't know if you know him.
I think I've heard of him, Mats Noor.
In Nordover,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, okay, I forgot his last
And
name.
he made a group chat and on WhatsApp, and that worked perfectly. He always sent. like announcement, notifications, reminders, and that worked perfectly. Um, I think for my case, and I also got this feedback for the. I don't. You also had this in PPD. When we had
Oh
to
yeah,
give
yeah.
feedback to each other. So I was the administrator or like the secretary. So I was always like typing what's going on the meetings. And I was really like into this state of like typing that I sometimes forgot to like add, like to be present and just add my ideas. So what I would do differently now is that I would just try and remember stuff that's going on in the meeting and be present and give my ideas, because they said like, oh, you have such great ideas, but sometimes you just forget to share it because you're so into the administration.
Okay.
So
So
this
you
I
would
would
say maybe
change.
it's like encouraging each other to share
Yeah,
ideas,
to
to
share ideas,
contribute,
to be more comfortable with
to be
speaking,
more comfortable
even
together
if
with the team.
even if it's gonna receive some feedback like, oh, it's not a really good idea, but you have to share because maybe it will be.
So it's kind of like accepting the idea of constructive feedback, and your contribution to the team. You know, giving and taking as well feedback.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to say an idea that might turn out to be not as good, but at least you did something. That's the main thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. How did your team handle conflict or differing opinions? I know that you said with constructive feedback, some people may be not really too accustomed with it, or they may not take it very easily. Yeah, how would you say your team has handled that conflict, and how have you personally handled that?
I would say we didn't have like huge conflicts. It was just that one team member I won't mention that like
That
didn't
Matt
really
kind of like
show
held the group
up.
together.
No,
No,
he didn't
okay.
really show up to the meetings, and he did really like little work. And I would say the main conflict in the group was whether to like kick him out or not. That was the main conflict because no one really wanted to do it, and
No one really wanted to give him that constructive feedback, and then he wasn't contributing much to the team. Okay,
And
okay.
even when he didn't show up, he didn't like say beforehand that, oh, hey guys, I have a problem, I can't go. He just didn't show up. So but we gave him another chance and another chance and another chance and the last one, and then finally eventually like he stayed in the group. But I think that was the main conflict in the group, if we can call it a conflict. So other than that, there weren't like really strong personalities in the group, so there weren't really like conflicting like huge
conflicting strategies or conflicting contributions. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's one of the things that maybe how you handle conflict is that even though you kind of kept reminding him about things and then he wouldn't keep showing up, you kind of still worked together with him and still managed in in some way through communication.
Even though like it's when you assign tasks for him and maybe he doesn't do it, then it's extra work for us to again like, or me or the other people, they do it, but still you have to wait and then you're in a rush because the deadline's there. So it wasn't the best experience, but I guess we'll have to face these challenges in the future as well. So
okay, yeah, makes sense. That's a good point. Give us a walkthrough of the event day itself. What went well and what were some last minute adjustments, especially how maybe some people don't contribute, then on the deadline, you're close to the deadline, then you have to make some last minute changes. How would you say your event went throughout the day and the last minute changes that you made?
So there weren't really any really last minute changes we made. The event started at 10. We had to be there. We agreed on being there at 9 so that we can prepare. We can welcome the guests, and it started off really well. And also we kept this level. Everyone was really like happy in general and joyful. Okay. I didn't especially I don't know why. Weather, yeah, the good weather, sunny. I didn't expect it to be this nice, to be honest, because it sounded like something that no one wants to do on a Tuesday morning, 10 a.m. biking. But then I suddenly saw people talking to each other, laughing on the bike.
Mm.
It was such a nice feeling, to be
Okay, yeah,
honest.
that's great that you have the community there,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah,
kind of bring people together,
yeah.
even if it's a boring activity or that people
Because
bike
it's
all the time in
outside
Netherlands.
school. It's like
Mm,
it's far.
mm-hmm,
Also, we go to the beach. That's also even further, and
mm-hmm.
people have to come back. But it was so nice.
It was an overall great experience for everyone, yeah, you
Yeah,
would
it
say.
was. Even the feedback, it was really great. I didn't expect it to be this good.
Mm.
It was a positive experience.
That's nice. That's great that you had that positive experience. I mean, I know that not many people would have that kind of positive experience, especially working in a group and maybe not having really great teammates to rely on. That's great that you had that. What were some of the moments that you or your group felt that you were proud of your execution? Though you said that maybe, um, you got the group together and people were talking. What contribution of your team do you think that really like contributed towards that impact, that value, that aspect,
I think
or to the
because.
overall experience of the event?
So, what do you think from the contributions helped
Mm, like
to make it a
what
positive
like
experience
were
or
there any
a
moments that
success?
you or your group felt proud during the execution,
Oh,
basically?
as I mentioned, I personally felt proud and I saw people laughing and just enjoying themselves. But also, I really liked how um, we had this map with all the stops and we could
Okay,
just go through it and just tick, tick, tick. That was a
nice.
nice
Okay.
feeling. And also, we played games. That was also, we had this funny Dutch traditional game when
Mm.
you have to poop into like a bottle.
You have to
Uh,
poop into a bottle.
yeah, you have a rope around your waist and
Okay,
a nail
yeah,
at the end,
yeah.
and you just have to squat and just aim into the
Ah, okay.
bottle.
I think there's actually
It
a
looked
similar thing
it
in
looked really
Indonesia as
funny,
well.
but everyone had fun doing it. So
Ah, okay. So it's not just the biking that you have to do, where with biking maybe everyone's kind of secluded. Maybe one can like go away from the not go away, but separate from the group. But then in the end, when you are together in the games, you get together. People kind of problem solve together
yeah,
with the game.
yeah.
Okay, that's great. Uh, Looking back at your event, what is one thing that your team did well, in your opinion?
Mm, I think like despite of the challenge of that teammate who didn't really do his part,
Mm-hmm.
the distribution of the tasks were really great. Like if you got assigned something, the other four people, if you got something assigned to you, you did it. Like in my group,
Mm.
that's how it worked.
Like I
Um,
think I noticed in the bike tour groups, there would be like maybe people in the front who would be leading the group, who
yep,
would be leading the bikers, and then there would be like someone in the back keeping them in track so that they're not getting lost or um, deviating from the path,
yeah. I
basically.
was in the middle. I was basically looking if we stop at a red light and like half of the group
Mm,
is left behind, so I could notify the ones in the front. So it worked
mm.
well.
I think one thing that I think the groups in the bike tour did really well is that since we are in an international school, maybe some of us may not know like turning with the bike or like using the hand signals.
Yep.
So I think maybe that can also be a good thing that you did with your group, especially being in the middle, looking at the stoplight, telling the group, telling the participants to stop or to turn left, turn right.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. And lastly, what did you personally learn about project management from this experience, and what can you apply to future group projects moving forward?
hmm Again, I have to mention the challenges we faced,
Mm-hmm.
and the way we handled it was really nice because we we didn't stop. We didn't like. Of course, there was a bit of complaining, but it wasn't for long. We knew that we had a goal in mind
Mm-hmm.
that we have to achieve, and therefore we had to take steps. And there was no like time to just complain. Other than that, for the future, I think we've learned a lot. I think you as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Especially the whole quarter three, with being only except one subject. It was all group work.
Mm.
It was
Yeah.
really, really super challenging.
Yeah,
At
I'd say it's
times,
really challenging.
yeah, at times I would rather like work alone.
Okay.
But after all, it was some groups were really really nice to work with, and
So you would say, like, in the whole project event management, moving from quarter one and quarter two where we had more individual work, and then quarter three, quarter four where we had more group work, where we need to learn more about the importance of collaborating, of communicating with people, and making sure that everybody's keeping on track. That's what you would say, like, would be your lesson to take away moving forward.
Yeah, especially if you think about your future career, you always have to work in groups. There's
Mm,
no way of succeeding alone.
mm,
You have to have people around you to help reach a common success. So
to reach a common goal.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you for your time and your insights about the bike tour, and
thank you.
especially looking at it whole in the project and event management.
Yeah, thank you for the
Right.
invitation.
Yeah.